Is my ceramic coating dead? Well, that's something we've been asked quite a few times over the many years of being in business. When your coating's not beading, is it gone? When your car feels really rough or maybe it looks dull, does it mean the ceramic coating's dead? Well, we're going to explain to you exactly what it means. Hey guys, Joe here from Clean Getaway Car Detailing. So we have been asked a few times, is my ceramic coating dead? And that is something that we've heard over the many years because let's be honest, sometimes you can have a ceramic coating installed on your car and it's amazing. It's beading, it's super hydrophobic, the car's super smooth and slick. It looks absolutely amazing. But then what it feels like suddenly, your car can just be flat as a tack, no water beading, maybe it feels really rough, maybe it looks terrible, who knows what the situation is. And that's when people will come in, bring their car to our workshop and say, hey, is my ceramic coating dead? Because it doesn't look like what I was originally promised. Now, there are so many variables when it comes to this, and sometimes it can be solved just by a quick wash or using specific chemicals, or sometimes on the other hand, it's a lot more involved and maybe something has happened. But the most common times when people ask this question is if the paint has been oxidized or it's been damaged from the sun. So what this means is that when the paint maybe looks a little chalky, it goes dull, if you wipe your hand on it and you get some white residue, and it usually is when the paint's oxidized and it's kind of like exfoliating and it's all this dead paint on the surface. Now what that tells us straight away is that your car is not clear coat. There's no clear coat on the surface of your car. And so that means that the ceramic coating has failed. It's broken down because of the paintwork it was on wasn't really created to have a ceramic coating put on it in the first place. And this is different from make and model of all vehicles, but we have found this a lot when it comes to dual cab utes with the Isuzu D-Max, the Mitsubishi Triton, the Toyota Hilux, and these are all white vehicles. So here at Clean Getaway Car Detailing, we want to ensure your car is clear coated before we put a ceramic coating on. So remember, if your car is oxidized, it usually means there's no clear coat, which means a ceramic coating cannot bond to that surface. So that's what happens when the car is oxidized. It's not really the fault of the coating, it's more the fault of the vehicle manufacturer and the paint they used. Now, we also see some people have come in and they've asked us, is my ceramic coating dead? When their paint has gone cloudy or maybe the clear coat's flaked off. Now, ultimately, yeah, the ceramic coating's well and truly gone, but that isn't always the fault of the ceramic coating. What that actually means is that there's an underlying issue in the paintwork itself. Now, it could be with the primer, it could be with the base color, or it actually could be with the clear coat. Now, we see this a lot, especially on Korean-made cars or cars that have been painted in Thailand, where all the plastics, so the rear spoiler, the door handles, the mirrors, the front bar, where the clear coat has literally flaked off. Now, this happens to cars with no ceramic coating, and it really boils down to the quality of the paintwork on the vehicle. Now, this can be a nuisance because you don't expect to see this happen to your car. You expect it to be beautiful and remain awesome as expected. But the reality is this does happen, and we've seen this a lot in the Hyundai i30s and also a lot of Mazdas, where the first thing we look at is the rear wing because they're always having sun damage. Now, a ceramic coating is meant to help prevent sun damage from occurring, from trying to help stop the UV from damaging the clear coat. But if there is a problem that's already there underneath, the ceramic coating can't do much about it because it's already there, and you can pretty much only slow that process down. So if your car has experienced sun damage or clear coat failure, and maybe you had a coating put on a few years into owning the vehicle, well, that problem was already starting to brew, so therefore the coating had no real control. It can only protect what's on the surface, and it can only bond to the surface as good as the surface allows it to. And that might be something that's kind of hard to stomach, but it's the truth of it. A ceramic coating will always perform better on a brand new, hard clear coat, as opposed to an older, worn down, soft, maybe Japanese painted car. And that's something we've seen over the 13 years of putting ceramic coatings on cars. and also seeing other cars just come in with maybe a dealership coating. There are so many variables, and it does come down to the specific vehicle and how it's been maintained over the years of its life. Now, sometimes people have come in and they've shown us their car and there's a lot of swirls in the paintwork and the car's not beading and it's flat. And so their first thought process is that, oh, the ceramic coating is being worn away and is dead. Now, sometimes, yes, that can be true, because if there's swirls in the paintwork, which are the circular scratches you may see when the sun's shining directly on it, or maybe you have some bright LEDs in your garage or at the fuel station, yes, that means that there's been friction. There's been abrasives been rubbing on the car, so maybe the soap hasn't been lubricating the wash mitt, or maybe using a chamois, or maybe your drying towel actually has dust in it. So you're actually inflicting micro scratches on the surface of your vehicle. So slowly and steadily, on a regular basis, as you're washing your car religiously, perhaps, it's actually wearing away at the coating, removing, shaving off that really nice slick top coating. So what this is going to do, this is going to diminish the beading properties and the hydrophobic effect. So now it's going to not look as good, and maybe things like dirt and grime are going to stick to the paintwork more. Now, is that a fault of the ceramic coating? We would say no. Like, the ceramic coating is actually doing its job. It's there as the sacrificial layer. It's helping protect the clear coat underneath what it's been bonded to. But sometimes it just comes down to maintenance, and the ceramic coating can only perform as well as the person who's maintaining it lets it. Now, one other case here that we have is when the car feels extremely rough, where you can wipe your hand over it and it feels like sandpaper. Now what this tells us as professional details is that it's contaminated. Now, it might not have fallout or maybe overspray from being parked in an industrial area, or maybe someone's painted a house or a car close by and it's blown over your vehicle. Sometimes what it could be is that your car lives outside a lot, and that just things are blowing around the environment. You got pollen and dirt blowing around. You got pollution, all these things that we have no control over blows around and is landing on a very, very hot metal box, which is your car. And so they just slowly embed and attach to the surface. Now, if the car had no ceramic coating, then all those things will be bonding into the actual clear coat of your manufacturer paint. But since you have a ceramic coating, it's bonding onto and maybe into the ceramic coating, giving you that opportunity to clay bar, decontaminate, perhaps machine polish the ceramic coating off. So all those contaminants and all those nasty things are removed as well, but they are removed with the ceramic coating without inflicting any damage or removing any of the car clear coat. So that's where it comes into understanding that the ceramic coating is the sacrificial layer. That's where we recommend to our customers coming in once a year for just the professional touch. So we can check over it. We have the perfect in-house wash bay in our workshop, which means we're not washing the car outside, it's not in the sun. So we can use all the chemicals we need to safely remove contaminants and to really check over the car, and to really help the owner of the vehicle understand, hey, if you can do X, Y, Z, that'll really help you maintain the coating even better. And sometimes it comes down to the fact that, yeah, maybe the coating has just not performed as well as it should have, and it just needs what we like to call a boost. And so there are chemicals and different products out there where we can spray on or even hand apply to boost the hydrophobic properties and to make it better. Now, beading does not represent how well the coating's working, because every coating is different. Just because a car is not beading does not mean the coating's dead. It could just be the fact that the hydrophobic properties of that coating have worn down, but the protection element is still there. So if someone comes in with a car that's maybe been protected at the dealership and it's not beading, we will not straight away claim that that coating is dead, because at the end of the day, we don't know. We don't know the coating, we didn't apply it, we don't know how you've maintained it, we don't know if someone's polished the car. We would be lying and foolish to straight out accuse the coating company that their product has failed. So sometimes it just clearly does not mean that the coating has failed. It just means there's something going on and it can be boosted. But if it's a coating we use, we'll better understand what's going on because we have the history, we have the experience with those specific coatings that we know and trust. But if it's another brand that we're unfamiliar with, We can't pretend that we know everything, because we don't. And I believe that you really can't make claims without fully understanding the history and the vehicle and everything it's been through. So is your ceramic coating dead? Well, that obviously, as we've discussed, matters on so many variables. But if you are still unsure, bring your car into us. We'll check it out. We can do a wash, we can clay bar, decontaminate it, and really just chat about it, see what we think is going on. I hope this has provided some answers for you in regards to your ceramic coating, and to better understand how a ceramic coating works, and to know really if it's dead, or maybe it's just a little bit dormant and needs a boost or a kick up the butt to get going again, to start looking amazing on your vehicle so that you can have the best experience possible. We'll talk to you soon.